everybody. We got a lot to do today. We got our college football picks, which are a couple days early this week. And that is because, it's Thanksgiving week. It's a holiday week. This week kind of sucks for content creators, especially ones that work. I mean, I had to do 12 hours today, 12 hours yesterday, so that I could get the holiday the next 2 days. And that also means I got to stream tonight too, and tomorrow. Because, I'm not going to be streaming on Thursday and Friday, because those are holidays. So, here we are. Kind of got to come up with a plan to do things a little earlier and kind of cram things together this week. So, without further ado, let's get into it. How we doing, Nievo? Last week, week 13, was really good. If you guys tailed, it was really good. On the wallet, we had a 13-9 week, positive $25.34, because I bet pretty conservatively. If I bet large amounts, then that would have been a nice week. But anyways, we got Memphis hoops. We missed Yale. We got BYU. That was a best bet on the show and on my wallet. I got NC State, was a live football play, and then I got UNC Wilmington on the money line for hoops as well. Football, we got Oregon first half. Penn State was a best bet. Lost Arkansas, lost to Duke, North Carolina under. Not by much, though. We got Ohio State. SMU was a best bet. We got Oklahoma. We missed James Madison as a best bet. We missed Temple, Maryland, and Utah. We got TCU. We got BYU. We got San Diego State and Washington. I went heavy on Washington last week. I added that to my best bet board late. Too late to even text the Discord. And we missed Georgia Tech and Cal. On the show, anything different? We had essentially the same picks on the show. The only differences were we got Minnesota, we got Samford, we got Charlotte, we got the Vanderbilt, Kentucky over, which is, I was at that game. That was fun. And we missed Coastal Carolina. We got Tennessee. We got Wisconsin. They won outright. And we missed the BYU Cincinnati over. So on the show, we went 17-10, over 60%. That was a professional week indeed. So, without further ado, let's get into the final week of college football. You guys know it as Rivalry Week. Throw out the records, as the old saying is, but guess what? The records do matter when it comes to betting these games, because often actually the favorite does win these things more often than you think. You would think the underdogs would cover more in rivalry games. They don't. It's actually about the same rate as normal. So let's get into it. There's a game on right now. I would probably have been on Western Michigan here, because if they win, they go to the MAC championship. But Eastern Michigan's trying to play spoiler here. I don't got any action on that one. The action I do have tonight, which is a best bet, and it's not football. It is on the basketball side of things. It's my only basketball play tonight. I thought about George Mason, though, and it looks like I should have done it because they're up 14. If I could find it, I'm just going to go ahead and do a Control F. There it is. Let's go ahead and play that music already. I got the Ducks tonight. You can actually get a 1.5 out there on MGM. Get a 1.5 out there. I think Oregon bounces back from losing to Auburn last night. San Diego State is good, but they seem to have regressed from their great teams that they've had the last few years. I mean, they lost to Troy, and they just don't look like they normally do in non-conference. So I'm going to take the Ducks on the short number here. I think they bounce back. They got an experienced, talented team, so we'll take the Ducks here. First best bet of the day is on the hoops side of things, so we'll get back over to football here. And that is tonight. That's 11 p.m. Eastern tip-off. So get in on that now. Okay. Navy, Memphis. I like Navy here. I'd like to get the 6 or 7 would be even better. But I would be on the Navy side here because if they win, they can go to the championship for that conference. And that's a big deal for that program. I know they got Army on deck, but they got 2 weeks to look ahead to that. So I don't think that they are focused on an Army quite yet. I think they're focused on Memphis. And I think Memphis has got some distractions right now with their head coach. I got nothing on this. I mean, Utah killed us last week. And Kansas can score. I mean, I could see the over happening here, but I'm staying away from that one. That feels like a trap. Nebraska, tough at home. Rivalry here. But I like Iowa to win the game. So I think anything under 7 is probably smart here. Though, keep in mind, this game is usually under. It's last year, I feel like, 17-16? I mean, this game's always close and it's always under, so that is a large number to lay. But Nebraska on their backup quarterback, I don't know how many points they put up on the board. So, yeah, that's kind of why I think Hawkeyes can win that one by 7. I like Mississippi State here. Home underdog, trying to play spoiler against their ranked rivals who have playoff on their mind. If this was 6.5, I'd be on Ole Miss, but 7.5, I think the Bulldogs can keep it close here. The Egg Bowl is always weird, and I feel like this is a competitive game. That'd be probably Kent State, honestly, because Northern Illinois, although they're the better team, they don't score enough points to lay anything over than a field goal, I feel like. So I'd probably be on Kent State there. So news just came out about North Texas's coach just got hired by Arkansas, but he's going to finish the year at North Texas. A little bit of distraction. You wonder how the players react to that. Temple looked bad last week, but they are 1 win away from bowl eligibility. Meanwhile, North Texas is 1 win away from a championship game in their conference and still possible playoff. So who knows how they react here. I think if their coach had left and not coached this game, I think they don't cover this. But I don't know. I'm staying away from this because of all the unknowns there, but just figured I would keep you guys informed. Prior to last week, I probably would have been on Georgia Tech here, plus 14. You can get a 14 on DraftKings. But now that Georgia's kind of looking like a scary version of Georgia, I almost am hesitant to pick them. It is a lot of points with Georgia Tech. It's a rivalry game. I get it. But I don't know if Georgia Tech can stop Georgia at all. They don't play very good defense right now. I think there'll be a lot of scoring in this game. This is a tough one. This is a really tough one to pick. How are we doing, J-Con? At first, my gut was like Georgia Tech, but now I'm starting to feel like Georgia. So stay tuned. I don't have an official play yet on this. It's probably a lean to Georgia, but anything less than 14, I feel like you go Georgia. Anything more than 14, I feel like you go Georgia Tech, if that makes sense. I like the Aggies. Not the Aggies, the Aztecs here. We have been riding and dying with the Aztecs all year. And they win this game, they go to Mountain West Championship. So I feel like you got to take them. It's going to be a sloppy, low-scoring game. So I would just take the money line on the Aztecs. Stay away from the point spread. Yeah, I'm not going to pick that one. If this is 27.5, I feel like you go Indiana. But this is a rivalry game, and it's at Purdue. And because we get that 28 and a hook, I almost feel like you got to take Purdue here. I mean, it's a rivalry. They're at home, senior night. They're going to give everything they got. And Indiana, I know they want to keep pounding people to get that 1 seed. But I just feel like 28.5 might be just a hair too much. I feel like Indiana wins this by 28, maybe 25. So I feel like this number's pretty spot on here. So I'll take Purdue because of the hook. All right, second best bet of the night. A lot of people might think I'm crazy for doing this because most people are on the opposite side of me. But guess what? I don't care what other people think. I care about winning. That's what I care about. You know what this fight song is. Second best bet of the night. Texas A&M. Give me the Aggies. I know it's at Texas. Tough place to play. Well, guess what? Texas A&M, that's not their first tough road test on the year. They had to go to Missouri, and they slapped them around. And guess what? The line was the same. And Missouri was about ranked 17th at the time. Now here we are, Texas ranked 17, and it's still 2.5. I'm not buying it. I think Texas A&M is way better than Texas. At Texas A&M, they win by 17. But this is at Texas, so I'll give them 3 or 4 points in value. I think Texas A&M wins this game by 7. So give me the Aggies minus the 2.5. They're just a better team. I also think the under could come in this game. Both defenses on these teams are very good. And they're going to probably, the first half, be a little conservative on the play calling because they don't want to take too big of a risk and put themselves in a hole. So I can see the under 51.5 also coming through. Rivalry here for the Territorial Cup, Arizona State and Arizona. I'm going to take the better team here, getting 2.5. Give me Arizona State. I'm not really sure why they're underdogs here. It's kind of fishy. Might be the most suspicious line of the week. I know Arizona, this is probably an overreaction to what they did last week. But Arizona State also killed Colorado last week. So I'm going to take Arizona State at home here. If you can get a +3, even better. If you can't, maybe you buy that 0.5 point. Makes a huge difference here. Because this is probably going to be a tight contest. But yeah, I'm going to take the better team. If this gets down to 3, I'd probably take TCU at home, senior night. They got kind of some good vibes going there right now. And Cincinnati probably let down from losing to BYU last week. And they kind of got crushed in that game. So, I don't know. I feel like TCU can win this thing here. I'd be on TCU -3. I need North Texas to get their act together here in college basketball. Who are they playing tonight? I don't know if I saw that line today. Toledo. Yeah, I'm going to stay away from that. I'm not going to do too much Maction this week. All right, here we go. The big game. Michigan, Ohio State. Now, Michigan has had Ryan Day's number for 3 years in a row now. Last year was the biggest surprise of them all when Michigan largely wasn't that great of a team. They were very average, and they were a big underdog in this game last year, and they beat them. They won outright. Well, here we are again. Michigan, a big underdog, 10.5 at home this time, not on the road. And Ohio State, one of the best covered teams in the nation. They've only not covered once or twice on the year, depending on what numbers you got. Ohio State is the better team here. They are going to bully Michigan up front. But if this gets to 11.5, I think I will be on the Wolverines here just to keep it close. Make it a slugfest, run the rock, keep the clock moving, gives themselves a chance in the fourth quarter. I know I'm crazy for going against the number one team here, but it's a rivalry, and I feel like if this gets to 11.5, which it could, I think that's too many points. I feel like it's too much. If it's 9.5, I'd be on Ohio State. That's the third leg in my parlay. Oh, Eastern Washington. Yeah, I mean, Dan Monson coaches Eastern Washington, so he's probably a year away from getting them going again. But Eastern Washington is usually a decent mid-major, but you would think North Texas would handle them. I don't know if it's second half yet or not, but I would expect North Texas to handle Eastern Washington. I'm going Ohio State to cover. Yeah, this is a tough one. You could really go either way. The line is spot on. I think it's a great line. I'm only on Michigan if it gets to 11 or 11.5 because they, for whatever reason, have had Ohio State's number recently, and they're at home. Double-digit home dogs late in the year cover 70% of games. It's a crazy number. I don't know what it is about late in the year double-digit home dogs, but it's something special. So that's kind of why I feel like this is a sloppy game. I will say this: the under's probably going to come in too. That's also kind of why I like Michigan if this were to get to 11, because I make this game at 24-13. That's what I make this. That's what my numbers have this at. 24-13 or 24-14. There's a high percentage chance that happens there. So the 11 or 11.5, I think, on Michigan is the safest play because it's a low-scoring game. Yeah, East Carolina, the dream killer game last week, but they're a lot better than Florida Atlantic. You got to think they bounce back and win this and cover, but yeah, I'm not going to bet this game, but that's probably where I would lean, even though they had the dream killer game last week. I'd go Pitt here, honestly. If this gets to like +7, I don't like it at 6.5, but if this gets to +7, I like Pitt, honestly. 30-29 with 2 minutes left in first. Oh, you got plenty of time. It's early. Yeah, I feel like Pitt. Both these teams have a lot to play for. Miami knows they need to smash here to get in the college football playoff. I just don't know if they can because I think Pitt's going to score on Miami. I don't think Pitt's that great. Power rating wise, I got Miami, around 20, and I got Pitt around 40. So it's a pretty big gap there, but because they're at home, senior night, still got a chance to get in the ACC championship, I think you have got to go with Pitt because they're playing well right now. You see them, what they did last week, Georgia Tech? That was pretty impressive. I'm not betting this game, but I would actually probably be on Oklahoma State. They're playing better of late. They've been covering of late. Iowa State's better. But, yeah, I'd be on the Pokes here to close their season on a positive note to at least keep it close. Colorado's a mess, but I can't figure out Kansas State, so I refuse to bet on their games. A lot of points to lay here at West Virginia, but Texas Tech has just been obliterating everybody. And until they stop doing that, I'm not going to pick against it, so I will be on the Red Raiders here. Clemson, South Carolina, rivalry, battle for South Carolina here. Whoa, that's a tough one. I think I'm on the Gamecocks here. I think the SEC is a tougher top to bottom than the ACC, at least this year. Most years, really, but this year especially. Clemson, I don't know where their heads are at. I know that this game would really help their season, and this would also mean a lot to South Carolina too, because I don't think they're bowl eligible. So, in fact, I know they're not. This is their Super Bowl right here, beating Clemson. So I think South Carolina does it. I think they'll win by at least 3. Anything less than 3, I like South Carolina here. Anthony, how we doing? Run through some picks here before we get to 2 racing games tonight. This is a tough one. Louisville is a mess right now. Kentucky's a mess. I watched them last week live. They didn't play any defense, and they also couldn't score. But Louisville has been in free fall lately too. I don't know. I'd stay away from this one because I don't know which team cares. It's a rivalry, though, so you got to think they would care somewhat. Okay, so if this gets a 17, I like BYU. UCF coming all the way over from Orlando, Florida, to Provo, Utah. Are you kidding me? They are going to be cold. They are going to be jet-lagged. And guess what? They're also not a very good football team. So I will take BYU here, but I'm waiting for that to get to 17. I'm going to stay away from these. I'd probably be on Missouri State for that one, though, if I were to pick it. Yeah, I'm staying away from that. There's a lot of garbage right there. The rivalry here with Louisiana and Louisiana Monroe, I probably would lay it with Louisiana. Because they are, if they win that, they go to a bowl game, and they'd love to smash their rivals doing so. That was a lot of bad games in a row. All right, so kind of going against my double-digit home dog here late in the year, but I think just Penn State is playing better lately. They dominated Nebraska for us last week as one of our best bets of the week, and I think they continue to do that. They become bowl eligible with a win on Saturday, but so does Rutgers. But I just think Penn State's playing better right now, and I think they're a better team. So I will take Penn State here. This line is spot on, though. I think they win by 14. So make sure it's 13.5 when you get it. Neyland's a tough place to play, but I've kind of been saying it for a while now. I think Vanderbilt's going to beat Tennessee this year, even though they're at Neyland. I think Vanderbilt's passing game is going to disrupt Tennessee's DBs. Their DBs, they're not even their starters right now. Their DBs are kind of going to get lit up by Diego Pavia and those receivers. And both teams play good defense. I think Vanderbilt's is slightly better. So the fact that this is only 2.5 to Tennessee kind of tells you something. If a neutral site, Vanderbilt's favored probably by 1. Because you got to give Neyland a full 3.5 points of value. So I think neutral site, Vanderbilt wins this game. They're favored by 1. At Vanderbilt, they're favored, So I'm going to go with the better team here. Power ratings-wise, they're slightly better. And I just think it's a bad matchup for those receivers and DBs. So I'm going to go with the Vanderbilt to pull the upset. I guess kind of an upset. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do there. I feel like Arkansas, they're going to be trying to get their first SEC win, but last week they looked really bad, so I don't know. It's a rivalry. Who knows? Things can happen. This line's telling you something as well. Minnesota, better team, better season, but guess what? Wisconsin's been playing better lately, 3 weeks in a row. They beat Illinois, who's a better team than Minnesota last week. Now, Wisconsin is not a very good road team, and Minnesota is really good at home. But this line is giving Minnesota 2.5 points, which implies neutral site Wisconsin wins. I think I'm still going to take the Badgers here. But I'd like this better at 2.5 or 3. Let's see what it is on DK. It's still 1.5. So sharp money's coming in on the Badgers. I think I'm still on the Badgers here. Looks like you want to take the money line, actually. But, I guess you get 1 point of value here. So I guess give me the plus 1.5. But I would have liked the 3 better. It is what it is. At Washington's a really hard place to play. This is a huge rivalry. How we doing, Buddha? But we're on a mission. We saw our names come up as the 6th seed now. We just want to get out of Washington with a win. I don't think they care about covering. I don't think they care about winning flashiness. I think they just want to win the game. However, I do think we win by 7, so I will take the -6.5 here because this is a really good line. You can actually, I think, get 7 in some spots. I saw some. Yeah, okay, you can get 7s already, so get the 6.5 now if you like it. I think this is a spot on line, so make sure you get the 6.5. Duke's way better than Wake Forest, but for some reason a lot of people are picking Wake Forest. I don't know. I'd be on Duke here. I mean, they're a better team. I don't know what happened to them late in the year, but I'd be on Duke. I'd be on Southern Miss there, but I'm not going to pick it. We've talked about San Antonio at home is some sort of sorcery. They always win at home, but they lose on the road. It's weird. So you kind of almost have to take UTSA here. I think I'd like -7 better. And Army has Navy on deck, so maybe they might be looking ahead there. We're almost done here, I think. Oklahoma, this is one of our best bets. I almost forgot to play the music. I got to find the music first. I got so many fight songs now download on the stream playlist. Where is Oklahoma at? But yeah, I mean, this is pretty simple here. LSU is checked out officially. So give me Boomer Sooner. One of our best bets of the day. But make sure you get -10, not 10.5. There's -10s out there. Get it. Don't wait around. Get the -10 with Oklahoma. They have playoff on their minds. I don't think LSU's going to score. Maybe 7 points, maybe 10. I make this 24-10. So that's what I think the outcome of this game is going to be. 24-10 Oklahoma. How we doing, Cookie Queen? Go get the Sooners while you can. Make sure you get a 10, though. All right. James Madison killed us last week, but I do think that they smash Coastal Carolina here because they still are trying to impress the committee to get into that college football playoff. I like this better at 21, not 21.5. So maybe you can go get that somewhere. Let's see if it's on DraftKings. No, it's 22.5. So it's going up. So yeah, I'd grab the 21.5 now while you can, or buy down. This almost made the best bet board. I have no clue why Florida is only -1.5. I know they sucked last week against Tennessee, but that was a bad matchup. It's possible they were looking ahead to this week. Florida State hasn't done anything the last few weeks. They're atrocious. Not that Florida's been much better, but guess what? The SEC is better than the ACC, and Florida's at home. So give me Florida here. Almost the best bet. I'm staying away from that rivalry. So Oregon State beat Washington State about 3 weeks ago. Now, I don't expect Washington State to lose again. But why are they 13.5-point favorites over a team they've already lost to? For that reason alone, even though Washington State's playing better, they played well against James Madison last week. I think you got to take the Beavs if this gets to 14. Can we get a 14? No, it's 13.5 there too. Well, shop around. Maybe MGM has a 14. This gets to 14. I think you take the Beavs because they already beat them once. Like, yeah, they're going to lose, but maybe by 10. It's not going to be by 14. Another rivalry here, Virginia Tech, Virginia. Virginia's got a lot more to play for, but Virginia Tech would love to pull an upset here and kind of ruin their rivals' season. They don't have the personnel this year to upset them, I don't think. But I do think if this gets to 10.5, you could take the Hokies. Right now, it's a no bet for me. But I'm waiting to see if I get that 10.5 or to 10. All right, here's another best bet. The Iron Bowl. Call me crazy, but I'm going this way. I'm going with Auburn. Anytime you get more than a field goal at home. Are you kidding me? At Auburn with this game? There's always crazy things happen. Auburn has not played well this year. But guess what? Power rating-wise, they're still a top 30 team. They are top 30, top 40 team. They're bad record. They got a bad record, but they are a top 40, top 30-ish power rating team. They play great defense, and you can get a +6 out here. Yeah, you can get a +6. If you really want to hammer this game, I'd go +7, buy up a point, and do 3 units. That's a pretty safe bet because I think Auburn can win the game. I do. I think Auburn can win the game, chat. I really do. Moneyline sprinkle on Auburn's not a bad play here. Alabama hasn't looked great the last few weeks. Simpson has been throwing picks. He hasn't looked too sharp. Yeah, I think it's a sneaky spot. What's your prediction on Lane? Oh, man. There's the Lane Kiffin sweepstakes. I mean, I don't think he's going to go to Penn State. I don't think he's going to go to Arkansas. I don't think he's going to go to Oregon State. That was a long shot. It's between LSU, staying at Ole Miss, and Florida, in my opinion. The only 3 options, unless something else mega opens up. Though, I do think UCLA, good recruiting spot. That's not a bad job right now. But I don't think he would take it. But he has been out on the West Coast before with USC. I think he's going to end up at LSU or stay in Ole Miss. That's what I think. I think he's going to go with a football decision over good schools for his kids and a better city to live in Gainesville versus New Orleans. Well, it's Baton Rouge, I mean. Baton Rouge is not as good of a city as Gainesville in various metrics. But he wants the football history and the money. So I think it'll be LSU or Ole Miss. How about you guys? How we doing, Tina? Let's move on here. Tulane, I think it's Tulane or pass. Charlotte's really bad. And Tulane, they're trying to get in the playoff as well. Northwestern Illinois. This is the Battle of Illinois. Northwestern in Evanston, Chicago area, and Illinois is in Champaign, just a couple hours away. I think Illinois is a better team, but their playoff hopes are gone. Northwestern, they are kind of on the fringe line of bowl eligibility. So I think Northwestern is going to be feisty for this game. If you see this get to 7, I probably would go with Northwestern just to keep it close, keep it tight game. I feel like this is like a 24-20 game. I don't see a whole lot of talent disparity between these two. With Belichick games, you go under. That's just kind of the way it is. I don't like this number as much, 47.5, but I still might, as a system play, do a Belichick under. And I don't. I feel like NC State's a better team. If this gets a 6.5, I'd be on them. Let's keep going here. Cal just fired their coach. SMU trying to get in the ACC championship game. But that's a lot of points coming all the way over there to California. I do think they're a lot better team, but that's a lot of points, so I'm staying away from that. This is almost the best bet. Fresno State. I like Fresno State here. But can we get a better number? We can. Give me the -3 with Fresno State. San Jose State, a little disappointing this year, and Fresno State's been playing well. Notre Dame's been smashing people. I don't see it stopping anytime soon, so I'd be on Notre Dame or pass. And that is it. That's it, yo. So let's get the best bets on the board here. We got Oregon Hoops tonight, -1.5. Go get that now. It starts in a couple hours. 11 p.m. Eastern, I believe, tip-off. Auburn +7 in the Iron Bowl, buy up a point. Oklahoma -10. And that should actually say Texas A&M +2.5. Or -2.5, not, right? Because they were favored. Yeah, so that's a mistake on my end. That's my bad. I believe. Let me double check here. Oh, everything went to shit. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that should be a -2.5. So, anyways, let's swap over to racing. You guys bet responsibly, and we had a great year. 165 and 121 on the year. So we're at right around the 57, 58%